This is Soph,
This is Rich.
and we are from across
Across the
the pond.
pond.
What's good? What's good? How was your weekend?
Weekend. Weekend was good. Had the best time with Albatross, as per usual. We went to the shops, got amongst it, living our best life.
Right now, it's wild card weekend, and the Eagles are playing. Dallas is going to be playing today, and later on tonight, the Steelers.
Ooh.
Ooh, intense.
What have you done this weekend?
Watch football. Yesterday, I watched the Raiders play the Bengals, and then the Patriots play the Bills.
Who comes up with these names? The Bangles.
I know.
Not being sexist, but that's a bit girly, ain't it?
No, because it's a Bengal tiger.
Oh, Bengal. You sounded like you said bangle, like a bangle on your wrist. That must be this ATP bloody language barrier we got going on here.
Yes, indeed.
You definitely said bangle. Anyhow.
Yes, Bengal tiger. Yeah, you're right.
I did say Bengal, not bangle.
Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals.
This is turning into an educational show for you. Never mind the viewers. Did you get up to anything else?
Oh.
Did you get up to anything else?
No. I had to buy salt because it's supposed to snow.
Ooh. And this is the thing. A lot of people have said in the US that they've got snow or there's a snowstorm coming. And normally a 1 week later, we get whatever weather you had. So if you had snow, 1 week later, we will get it.
Ooh. Y'all gonna get a lot then.
Just wanted to say sorry if I keep fumbling about in my mouth. I've literally just eaten my dinner and I hurried it so that I could quickly come on, obviously, and do the show, but I've just had some chicken.
Here, people are calling me.
People are calling you?
Yeah, so I'm don't want you to think I'm ignoring you.
I'm letting you
know that the show is on.
Are they calling you because of the football?
Of course.
Of course. People, listen, if he's doing the show, football is secondary.
Hey, you can't stop the group text with guys. I've been told it's a sorority, a fraternity. Not sorority, a fraternity.
Whatever that means, yes.
Group of us guys got a massive text going on when it comes to football time, and we all can't get together.
Okay, you have your man chat if you need to.
Nah.
Oh, I don't mean now. You ain't having it during showtime. I'm just saying,
I know.
Okay. Serious Sunday.
We are tackling. I didn't even say it right. Tackling.
What are we going to be discussing and talking about today, please?
Teen pregnancy. Teen moms on what is it? Is it MTV?
MTV, yeah. Have you ever? Let's just start with the TV program. Have you ever watched that Teen Mums?
No.
There's another one called 16 and Pregnant. I've seen that a couple of times.
I'm not really big on reality shows. Now, I'm not going to act like I don't know what it is. Now, I have seen the show. I haven't watched a complete episode.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces.
Don't get it twisted. It's not like it's on Series Link on record and I must watch it, but it's been on or as I've flicked through and I might have watched 10 minutes here and there,
Yeah, but the thing about it is teen pregnancy ain't new. I remember when I was in high school, we had girls that were pregnant, but it wasn't like a big deal.
I never had anybody pregnant in my school when I was in there.
Really?
And with that, I'm going to dash you with some facts, right? Because obviously we do the differences between there and here, right? So in the UK, let me just load it up. In the UK, it says this is so annoying because it was already loaded when I loaded it earlier, and now it's being a plum. Here we go. So, the under 18 conception rate has actually decreased in the last 11 years in the UK, and in England, it is equating to 17 contraceptions per 1,000 minors, below the age of 18. Okay. So in the UK, every 17 per 1,000. What do you think it is in the States?
I don't even know because we got teen pregnancy going rampant down here. So I don't know. You tell me. You got the stats.
I'm just saying.
You got the stats.
If ours is 17 per 1,000, you don't know what yours is?
No.
Yours is 57 per 1,000. So you actually have a much higher underage pregnancy rate than the UK.
Evidently.
An extra
57 to 17.
An extra 40 per 1,000.
Yes.
Which, if you think about it, is actually quite a lot. 1,000 people. When you think of how many millions, billions, or whatever of people are in the US,
right?
1,000 is not a lot, and 57 of those get pregnant under the age of 18. It's bad, really, ain't it?
Yeah.
It does also say that in the United States over the last 2 decades, that rate has declined. Like, it's declined to 57 per 1,000. So God knows what it was before that.
Right. It probably was higher. Like I said, it's nothing new here in the States.
It actually says.
Throw my sister under the bus, but she was a teenager and was pregnant.
Hold on, we'll get on to sisters and teen pregnancies in a minute. It actually says in bold letters, the teen pregnancy rate is the highest in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. Disgusting. Leave these teenage girls alone.
Oh Lord, the ATP yawns out. We've not even been going 10 minutes yet. Excuse me.
Teenage girls alone.
What were you going to say about your sister?
My older sister had my niece when she was a teenager.
When you say teenager, how old?
I don't know, maybe 17.
Okay, we're not chucking people. My sister had her first baby when she was 16. We aren't chucking people under the bus. We're dealing in facts here.
Yeah, I don't know what age it is. I could call her right now and be like, how old were you when you had Angel? And she'd probably be like, none of your business.
What did your dad say when he found out she was expecting?
Well, my dad I was a young kid, so I don't know exactly what he said to them, but he did have a discussion with the baby daddy and her face to face. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to say my parents were pleased about it, that would be an absolute understatement,
Oh yeah, I don't think any parent would be happy about it.
I mean, it's hard for us to put ourselves in the position. Like, I could say to you, what would you say if you had a daughter and she came and told you she was pregnant underage? But it's hard unless you've been in that situation.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, people. And you know what else? Give me that look of death again. I'm sorry, people. My yawn is there to stay.
He's not sorry. Anyway, do you think, let's get back to, this is serious Sunday, so can you rein it in, man? Do you think it's harder, like if you've got 2 teens, obviously your sister and my sister both got pregnant at an early age. Do you think it's easier for the male involved in that situation than the female?
Heck no.
Okay.
I don't think so. Just due to the simple fact he has to deal with not only the girl being a teenager, that means she probably ain't even working. And if she is, she's probably working at like McDonald's or something and still going to school. Mm-hmm. He has to deal with her parents. And then on top of that, his parents.
Okay, so what would you have said if one of your sons came to you at like 15, 16 and said, Dad, got something to tell you. I've got my girlfriend up the duff. We're going to have a baby. We're going to keep it. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God, we would have a family meeting. Me, my child, and the girl and her parents. We gotta hash it out because I ain't doing all that. But
So
then,
if he said, Dad, you know, I've got to tell you this, she's pregnant. We're keeping the baby, and I want her and the baby to come and live here with us.
I don't know. I still would have to talk to the parents because both of them are underage. So I would have to talk to. It would have to be a group parenting discussion.
Okay, what about if the girl wanted the baby but your son didn't?
Well, he don't have a choice in the matter. We've discussed this before. You know, as men, as a man, and being that, you know, I have children. If she were to say she didn't want them, there's nothing I can really do about it because it's her body. I mean, I could cry. I'd probably cry and be heartbroken. But other than that, there's nothing I can do to that woman to make her want to keep it.
Would you do anything to educate your sons further on contraception if that were to happen?
Oh,
or
yeah.
in fact,
question.
What did you do to parent your sons on contraception, or did you leave it up to the school?
No, I taught my kids about sex and sex education and condoms and what to expect, and no glove, no love. That's how it rolls in my house.
No glove, no love.
Yeah. I don't care what she tells you how it feels, if it feels good without it.
You know what?
She ain't the one for you.
You know what? You know I'm right. You know I'm writing a book, and I'll cut you 10% commission. I'm writing that down. No glove, no love.
Yeah, that's my motto in my house. Look, check this out. Now, when you become married and you want to do all that, I can't stop my kids from experimenting and wanting to have sex or whatever the case may be, because this is a different age, day and age now. But I always stress to my kids, no glove, no love. That means if she don't want you to wrap it up, she ain't the one for you anyway. She too fast.
Well, not only is she not the one for you, she's got no respect for herself and her own body. Let's not get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it always pains me, like kids having kids. I watched a clip the other day from an American show, like we talk about talk shows and stuff. And There was a girl on there, and I think I want to say she was 12, right? She was 12 or 13. No word of a lie. I'm going to have to remember what the clip was, what show it was. And she didn't know who the father of her baby. She was pregnant, or she had the baby, sorry. And she didn't know who the father of her baby was. There were two best friends that she slept with. And the best friends knew that each other had slept with her. And one was saying, okay, if I'm the dad, I'm going to have to man up. That's how it is. And the other one was saying, that ain't my kid. I don't really care. The one that was saying that ain't my kid turned out to be the dad. They did that paternity test live on the show. The little girl, and I say little girl because she was a little girl, 12 or 13, was crying. Like,
because she don't know what to do. Was the baby born already?
Yeah, because they had to do a paternity test. I'm definitely gonna have to see if I can find that clip.
Was it on Maury Povich? Because he's famous for that.
What does he look like?
He's an old white guy. And he goes, "You are not the father." That's his famous line, man. He made big money off of.
I'll have to try and see.
Pregnancy tests.
I just think
paternity tests. I said pregnancy. Paternity tests.
Kids having kids, man. Now, let's not get it twisted. You can get people that are of the age of consent that have children that are not mature enough or sensible enough to deal with that. I genuinely believe, this is just my opinion before the Karens come jumping out, I genuinely believe there are people in the world that should not be allowed to have children because they're just not maternal, or they're just not equipped to deal with children. That's my personal opinion.
Well, I think that the teen pregnancies, the parents end up taking care of the kid.
That was going to be my next. That was going to be my next question. So, if an underage child, has a child, be that mother or father, do you think their parents should take on the responsibility of that child to allow them to finish their education? Or do you think they've revoked that right by laying down and getting pregnant?
I think they should still go to school the whole nine. You still got to eventually support yourself and that baby. It's just now you got an extra mouth to feed. Now, as a parent, you not only have to take care of your child, you possibly have to take care of the child's child.
Okay, but why is that then the responsibility of the parent?
Because the teenager don't know no better.
Okay, but if I'm a mom, and this isn't my opinion, by the way, people. I'm just questioning you so that we can get a debate about it, going backwards and forwards, okay? Mm-hmm. So say me, I've got a daughter. She comes to me at 15, mom, I'm pregnant, blah, blah, blah. You're saying I should take care of her child to allow her to continue her studies, right?
No, I say most parents end up taking care of.
But then how it's like a big chain. How do I support my child and my child's child if I can't go to work because I'm looking after my child's child?
Well, I mean, you're not going to stop working straight from the giddy up. I mean, like,
so who then?
Girl's still going to go to school pregnant.
You want me to look after the child and the child's child, right? You want the child to go to school so that I can look after the child's child. But then where's the money going to come from to support us as a unit?
See, you got me a little messed up here. What I'm saying is that the parents some of them end up taking care of the grandchild.
I get that.
Due to the simple fact of the matter is that either the daughter is too young or she's young and she's really probably working at McDonald's or whatever the case may be.
And I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, if that's the case, where does the money come from to fund that family in order for the mum to stay at home to look after the child's child?
The mom is not staying at home.
Well, who's looking after the baby then?
A mom that's going to quit her job because her teenage daughter.
Okay, so while the teenage daughter's at school, who's looking after the baby?
That's where they're going to have to figure it out. Maybe some daycare. Because I know when I was in school had daycare. Had a daycare in the school.
Our schools ain't got no daycare here.
Well, that's because y'all don't have teen pregnancy running rampant.
We have 17 in every 1,000, actually.
Yeah, well, that ain't a lot. That's a very small.
You know what? I don't know if you have them here, but we have these things. They're like, it's called a hostel, right? And basically, anybody it's mainly for young teens.
Travelers.
No, it's mainly for young teens that have got pregnant and have got their parents kick them out and they've got nowhere to live. And
hostel? I thought hostels were for travelers who are
that's a different type of hostel. Yeah, so basically they stay there temporarily until the authorities, government, whoever can find them somewhere suitable to stay. It's like a bit like temporary accommodation, you know. Mm. Yeah, they stay in this hostel for young women.
So it's a woman's shelter.
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, I've seen guys stay there, young guys.
Teen shelter?
Me. I just think it's mainly for anybody.
A woman's shelter for pregnant women.
Pregnant or had the baby, you know, but it's like one room and then everything else is communal, you know. It's not the best. Do you have stuff like that there?
No, we do have shelters, though. We have women's shelters and we have the men's homeless shelter.
Okay. Similar.
But we don't have like designated areas for young teenage pregnant moms to go live.
What do you think needs to happen for teen pregnancies to really
Better contraceptives.
better, as in what?
Better ways of educating kids on birth control,
Okay.
condoms, and all that good stuff.
Okay, let me tell you a fact. Do you know the only contraception that is 100% guaranteed?
Yes, no sex at all.
Correct.
Abstinence.
Other than that, there is zero contraception that is 100%. I think condoms are only 97%.
At least they're in the 90s. That's if you want to wear one.
The pill is 95%. You know,
That's if you want to take it on a regular.
Every contraception, there's a percentage. There's not a single one apart from not having sex that is 100% that you won't, you know,
get pregnant. Crazy, right?
Be crazy. Do you think that with all this modern technology and stuff, they could come up with one that is 100% guaranteed?
They should. They should work on. I mean, you know what? To be honest, because I'm a strong believer in contraceptives like condoms and birth control and stuff like that. But I think there should be a male birth control,
like the pill.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was one in the pipelines.
I don't know, but we should have one. Take it like a multivitamin, especially if you don't want to have kids.
But then I wonder how much percent proof that would be if the women's is only like 95%.
Sure. Probably the same.
I've got to turn this light
It
down.
probably would be the same. It probably would be the same.
Okay. Do you remember when you was at school? What sex education did you have?
Yeah, we had health with sexual education where they brought out you had to put a condom on a banana.
Yeah.
And then they had like sex education videos where they showed, you know, the vagina and the penis and you know, giving birth and all that good stuff.
But let's go to the condom on the banana and the watching the sex intercourse video. You just did that once, right? That was one lesson.
Right.
That's no way near enough. Do you agree?
It's not enough. But then, you know, I got older brothers too and older sisters too, so they kind of helped along the way. But
not everybody's in that fortunate position to have older siblings.
True.
To be able to do
True,
that.
but you have a parent. And my dad talked to me about the birds and the bees, and I thought it was hilarious at the time.
It's actually very serious.
I know, but it was just, I guess because of my maturity at the time when he was telling me, I thought it was hilarious.
Okay, so do you think it's better coming from an educational school point of view or from a parent's point of view?
I think both. I think the more the merrier. The more education you get, the more you know, whether it comes from your parent, comes from the school. I think the more you're educated, it should be both. It should be hand in hand. Just like I believe in school and parenting should be hand in hand.
But we're both in agreement that schools need to do a damn sight more.
Oh yeah, they need to do a whole lot more. It's not like it shouldn't just be like a required, you know, one grade period. It should be.
Do you know what I think should happen? I don't know if you've ever watched like Love Island or one of these reality TV shows, but you shake your head. One of the exercises they do is when they're in their couples, they give them one of those baby dolls that's like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
simulator thing. So it
Yeah.
cries, you need to change it, it needs to sleep. That it's like a program to be a real baby. And
Yeah.
basically, if you just rag it around like a doll, it's going to get worse. You know, it's like a whole simulation thing. I do not understand why they don't do this in schools and give them
Well,
for
see,
one night to take them home.
they did that in school with us, and it was either an egg or like a bag of flour. And you had to carry the bag of flour around. And then like you and like say if me and you were in the class together, we had this baby together. We had to figure out who was going to watch it at certain times throughout the school day
Okay.
until we got to that class. That was crazy. And then like who had to take care of it after school.
Okay. I get the idea. But an egg and a bag of flour don't cry or need changing.
Well, they're probably different now. I don't know if I think that would be a great exercise.
I think teen pregnancies would definitely be halved if you did that.
I think so too.
Because some girls actually think it's cool, you know, oh my God, let's play dressing up, play mummies and daddies, you know, no.
Well, when you have to lug that little 5 pound bag of flour around.
If they don't do that thing, do you know the other thing they should do is, you know, you can get them fat suits. They should strap a girl up for the day in one of like a pregnancy like belly, you know, like they use in films and stuff, like on Nutty Professor when he had that thing on. They should make them wear a fat suit and carry it around. This is what it feels like when you're 9 months pregnant.
But see, with technology now, which I just saw on Instagram maybe 2 days ago, where they have this thing that they hook up to the guy's stomach.
Oh, yeah, so he feels like he's getting contractions?
Having contractions and going into labor. Couldn't do it.
Do that
I know for a fact I couldn't do it.
Okay, do that for the boys. Well, I suppose, and the girls, really. Why not? Strap them up. Bzzz.
Yeah. And have them both wear fat suits.
Exactly.
Man and young lady.
I think they need to do something a bit more hard hitting for it to sink in. Like me and you just said, one lesson, you get to put a condom on a banana, which is not realistic anyway. And you also get to watch a video on intercourse, how the semen swims along the tube, eats the egg, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Job done, closed.
It's the egg.
Wow, you know what I mean. Nibbles it way in and
Yeah. We got you. So what would you say if your son were to come home and say, hey, I got Susie Q pregnant and she wants to keep it? What would you tell your son?
Could you just pass me the brandy, please, son? No, you'd have to have the chat and ask the obvious questions. How long have you been dating this girl? Do you want to keep it? Does she want to keep it? Do her parents know? You know, how far gone is she? Where do you think you're going to live? Who do you think is going to look after this baby? You know what I mean? You've got to have the conversation and ask the questions, but put the responsibility back on the children. Because if he was to come to me and say, yo, Mom, I've gone and got Joanne, small Susie Hubert down the road, knocked up, you know, she's 3 months pregnant, we want to keep it, and I'll say, oh, congratulations, son, where do you want to live here? Yeah, bring her in, come on, have the baby on. Why would I do that?
That's what I was about to say. Why would you do that? These
children have got to take responsibility. They're responsible enough to lay down, open their legs, have sex, and make a baby. Therefore, you've got to be responsible enough to take care of it. What that looks like, I can guide you or advise you if you want my advice. If you don't, there's the door.
That's how you would take it? There's the door?
No, I would ask the questions and give my advice, my opinion, and try and guide them as best as possible. But you know how kids are stubborn sometimes and they think they're big I am. They try and do what they want. If they didn't want to listen to my advice or didn't want to listen to anything I'd say, I'd have to say, okay, then well, you got to go it alone. You're big enough to pull down your pants and make the baby. There you go.
So you wouldn't let the girl stay with you?
If that's what they wanted and it was a feasible, like if we had the space, if it was feasible, if they were gonna pay their way, not necessarily in monetary, but like help out. If they didn't expect me to raise the child, it's not like, okay, you can come and live here and off you go out to play. I'll look after your baby. Nah, it's got to be rules and boundaries and stuff put in place. And let's not get it twisted. I would be 100% eggy because there's no way my son's getting somebody pregnant under the age. I'm telling you.
You be eggy though. You be tight.
Whoa, eggy ain't the word.
Now, would you talk to the parents? Because I haven't yet hear you say you would talk to the girl's parents.
Hell to the yeah. I said I'd ask the parents know, and if the parents didn't know, holy moly, they will know if I know. And anyhow, this is the thing I find, obviously, because we got sons. Anyhow, they try to lay the blame on the doorstep of my son. Oh no, sir. Your daughter laid down and spread she legs to help make that baby. She ain't innocent.
That's it takes two. She ain't innocent. Mm-hmm. He ain't coach her. Mm-hmm. Trust me on that one. He ain't forced himself. We ain't doing that either.
And I ain't having anyone turning up and not banging my door down. Your son's got my girl up the duff, blah, 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 Mm-hmm. Whoa there.
You going to war.
Oh, hell to the yeah. Got all guns blazing.
When I was young, my father used to do scare tactics like if you were to get a girl pregnant, you're gonna have to get a job and you're gonna have to support it. I'm not helping.
But that's not scare tactics. That's making you take responsibility.
Well, see, back then.
And let's not get it twisted. As soon as Alfie can understand, you bet your bottom dollar I'm telling him the same thing.
Because he was like, "Oh, I ain't raising nobody else's kids." He used to say crazy stuff.
But it worked, right? You didn't get anybody pregnant underage, did you?
Scared to death. And then on top of that, I like my little bit of change to myself.
Okay, so as your sons got
older, had to buy Pampers.
As your sons got older and you talked to them about the birds and the bees, I still don't really know why they call it that, but did you ever give them condoms?
My oldest boy, yeah.
Did he ask or did you give them to him?
I gave it to him. He ain't asked. He ain't never had to ask.
Okay.
And then he would always say that I would embarrass him because he's like, "Dad, you're so embarrassing." Because I tell him 100, no glove, no love. Matter of fact, here go a couple. Throw them in your wallet, throw it in your car. Because at that time he was driving, he was working, he was being very responsible. So, and then my sons are good looking. So, he had girls, in his face all the time. So I was just like, especially you. His little pretty self, girls is quick to be wanting to have babies, the pretty-eyed boys and stuff. So I was like, here, man, hold some of these in your pocket. Or I would have them in my car. And then like when he would go to parties or something, I'd be like, here, man, you sure you don't want one of these? He'd be like, oh, Dad, come on. Come on, Dad. Don't embarrass me.
This is the thing. Since Alfie, I'm not going to lie, since Alfie came out of the womb, right, he was probably days old, and we'd have the telly on in the background, and there'd be some scantily clad woman like tottering along on the telly, and I'd say to him, look, don't be bringing nobody like that home. You want a good, wholesome girl. And then say we'd watch a film, and I don't know, somebody, let's say Scarlett Johansson, I'd say to him, see, you can bring somebody like that home, it's fine, And at the time, his dad used to say, stop saying things like that to him. And I'm like, nah, he's not bringing any old tramp home. He needs a decent girl. And I'm going to teach him that from the beginning. And he was like, why? Let him sow his seed and live his life. And I'm like, no, because no one's taking advantage of him. And he's not getting caught, no.
Getting caught up.
Yeah.
You can't, one thing about it, you can't tell your kids who to love. And they'll end up finding their way.
You want to bet?
You want to bet? I kid you not. My sons have been in relationships, and I've taught, but I'm always the embarrassing parent because I always used to tell my sons' girlfriends, even my friends' daughters and sons, we don't date dummies. I
Okay,
used to
so if
say that
any
all
of
the
your
time.
sons, you don't have to name, don't name and shame, but have any of your sons ever brought home a chick that you didn't like?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Excuse me.
But to be honest with you, though, they're not for me to like. To be
I
honest.
know, but if your son brought somebody home that didn't look wholesome, had a rude mouth on her, and all the rest of it, you wouldn't
Yeah, well, I
really
would talk
like
to
it.
him about it. I wouldn't. I
Oh,
still
that's what I
wouldn't
mean. But
say.
you just said it's not for you to like. But what I'm saying is you can have an opinion. But I'm just saying, if they brought one home that you didn't particularly think was wholesome, as shall we say?
Yeah. Well, I would, like you said, I would give my son my opinion, but at the end of the day,
Because
he's got to be.
I say this all the time. If the mum, like for me as a woman, right?
Yeah,
And if I date someone, if their mum doesn't like me, it's game over. Because there's no way you can have a successful relationship with a man if you don't get on with his mum.
that's a dis. I don't believe that.
I do, because it makes it very difficult. Either you and the mum, like it's awkward because you two don't get on. She will chip in his ear away until he either cuts her off, which then he'll resent you, or you'll chip away at him and then he'll end up cutting you off and the relationship's done. I'm telling you, point blank, from a woman's point of view, if you don't get on with the
I
mum,
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that type of scenario because I wasn't raised by my mom. I was raised by my dad, and my dad used to tell us he can't tell us who to love
but
as long as he treats you right.
have you ever took a chick home and either when you're with her or afterwards your dad said, oh yeah, I didn't really like
There's
that?
only been one relationship that my dad's has ever stepped in the middle of and was like, yeah, you need to talk to her. She's very disrespectful. You need to talk to her. And I was just like, for reals?
Would you
I
do
was like,
that
for
would
reals?
you do that if you felt that about your son's girlfriends? Would you would you step in and say something?
Oh, yeah, without question.
Oh, listen,
Without question.
I'm not gonna lie, I would step in
I'll
and
put her
say,
on blast in front of him, to be
right.
honest.
I was just about to say I would say something to the chick. I wouldn't say something to Alfie. I'd go straight for the jugular. Don't be stepping
Well,
in my house.
at the time, she was at the house and I wasn't.
Uh,
So like when she left and I came back, that's when my dad kind of like pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, check this out.
your dad
I
didn't say
can't tell you
nothing
what
to
to
her.
do." I don't know. I don't know if they exchanged words. I don't know. But I do know when I came back, my dad was like, "Look here. I don't get in your business. I don't get in relationships. But that one, yeah, you need to check her. Cause ain't nobody gonna be doing this and that and this and that in my house." I was just like, oh, okay. It caught me off guard because the simple fact of the matter is my dad's never really had a problem with any of my relationships. So he never really got in the middle of it, of any of them. To this day, he'll give me his opinion, but that's about it.
Okay, let me just ask you one last question, right? So your sons are how old?
21 and 19.
So what would you say if they started dating someone who was like 16 and then got into that situation?
Whoa, my kid's dating someone 16 and they're 21. Yeah, that's a no-no. I would let them know that's a no-no. She's still a baby. There's too many women out here. But then,
What about the 19-year-old then if he's dating a 16-year-old?
yeah, they should be. Look, I can't tell them who to be with, but they're underage. Them girls is underage, and being that my sons are black males, we don't want
But
that.
the thing is, the
We
legal
don't want
age
that.
the
Whether
legal
they was
age
white males.
the legal age for consent over here is 16. Over there it's 18. So if I had a son, or let's say when Alfie's 21, he decides to date a 16-year-old, let's not face it, child, There's not really anything I could do about it apart from lecturing, because 16 is the legal age of consent here.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I wouldn't know what to do. And my son brought home a child. I'd just be like, oh my God. Oh my God. We got to talk, son. But then at the end of the day, I can't tell him who to love. I can just give him my opinion and my advice. That's how I would. That's how I
At
would
the
say
age
it.
of 16, do they know what love is?
No, I don't think we call it at them young ages. We call that puppy
Puppy
love.
love, right? And do you know what?
Right.
That is the topic for another show.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I tell you not. Mm. I wouldn't know what to do if my son came home with a girl younger than him. Well,
Okay,
here,
then.
they're
Okay,
underage.
what you know how my brain
Here,
works?
that's underage.
Well, my brain works. One question leads off. What if your 16-year-old son had come home and said, Dad, meet my girlfriend, and she was like 23, 24, 25?
Oh, that's a definitely no too.
He loves her. It's puppy love.
Yeah, because the simple fact of the matter is, first of all, if she's a grown woman, she don't need to be with my 16-year-old son.
But like we said before,
What's going on with you?
actual age and mental age are two different things. She might be 23, 24 on paper, but upstairs she might be a little bit behind.
She might be retarded.
Not necessarily that, but I mean maturity. She might not just be
Slow.
Yeah, or immature.
Immature. Still, get away from my 16-year-old son. That's what I would do.
But
If the
hold on a
girl is
minute,
grown woman,
Dad. She's pregnant. Now what do I do?
there ain't nothing I can do after that. I'll just be like, she should know better, to be honest. As old as she is, she should know better. But
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
ain't nothing I can do about it. I just be like, son.
Oh my God, that yawn. Now let me
I
just
just
get
be
it
like,
out there
come
again.
on.
Any questions that have been asked in this show, in any other show, is
Or
not,
our opinions.
hold on. The questions aren't necessarily our opinion. We're just asking them to open up the floor for a topic of debate. Okay. That's it.
That's it. Topic of this.
That's it. I'm just saying, we just ask questions. Okay, mainly me because my brain's overactive, but I just open up the floor for debate.
Yes.
And I just love it when we chop it up.
I love it when we chop it up because the simple fact of the matter is, I'm giving you a male's opinion and you're giving me a female's opinion.
Correct. And also, going back to I just got to go back to the condom on the banana, right? Do you think there are a number of items available these days that look realistic other than a banana? Do you think it would be more realistic if they used one of those instead of a banana?
No, because the simple fact of the matter is you don't want a banana, even though it's unrealistic, with a banana, but a banana is supposed to represent a penis, right?
Right, okay, but banana don't have balls.
But we don't want to glorify it. So that's why you don't run around here with dildos.
But you're not glorifying it.
You're penises looking of toys looking like penises.
You're not glorifying it. You're making a joke out of it because a banana doesn't have balls. If you had a rubber penis with balls, I think that's much more realistic than using a banana.
True, but you just want to show them how to do it. You don't want them to have a visualization of an actual penis with a condom on it. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, but use something else then. A banana doesn't have balls.
The condom doesn't go around the balls. You don't need balls.
I know that, but the balls are still there. Like
it don't matter. You don't need the balls. That's what I'm saying. You want it to be semi-realistic. You don't want
a banana ain't even semi-realistic. It's a fruit.
Semi-realistic meaning the length of a penis is probably a length of what a banana might look like to some folks when erect. So therefore, you put a condom on, and you're just showing them how to properly put a condom on. You don't need balls for that.
Okay, even take the balls away. I do think there's other things that you could use other than a banana.
All right, what other things you think we should use? You
Geez,
think a
even if you
school should use, because you still got to be politically correct now. So you want the school not to have the parents going ape crazy because
okay, so let me
they
ask you
got their
this.
13-year-old daughter
Okay, hold
learning
on.
how to put a condom on,
Let me
because it's
ask
not
you this.
just guys, it's girls too.
When you were at school having this lesson, if your teacher would have bought, say, a dildo, right? But not necessarily is in the shape of a penis, just like a smooth thing, would you have known what that was if she didn't tell you? No, you'd just think it was a penis shaped object. So why not bring out a penis shaped object? Why use a banana? It's like the film American Pie when he gets a warm pie and puts his penis in it. Why?
Because they don't know no better. But we're talking about school. Nobody's bringing sex toys into a school.
Okay, but you don't have to glorify it as a sex toy. You don't have to say what it is. You can just say it's an instrument. You're just using this instrument to show what it does. I personally could never. Maybe that's why I don't want to eat bananas. I don't know, but could you never look at a banana in the same way again?
Oh, girl, knock it off. So you mean to tell me you would bring in a sex toy and just say this is an instrument to use?
Okay, but as a child that you're in that class, you don't know that's a sex toy. That's what I'm saying.
Basically, when you're doing sex education, kids know, especially this day and age, kids know a lot more than what they're telling you. So therefore,
I still think it would be better than a banana.
Well, if you don't want parents coming at your neck because you done brought a sex toy to school and had their little 13-year-old daughter putting a
but
condom.
It's not. You're not bringing a sex toy to school. You're bringing an educational implement to use to teach them how to put on a condom. That's just my opinion,
okay. Okay. I can see parents coming to the school hotter than a fire.
I don't see why it's any different to a banana. You just, in order to do the action, you just need an object of that shape. Why use food? You use an object of that shape.
Well, they just use a banana. It could be a piece of wood. I don't know.
There you go. Then why don't they start using
a broom handle? I could care less.
Exactly. Why don't they use an object rather than food? Don't use a banana. It's just wrong.
So basically, your argument is you don't want them using food that you have to eat,
right? To do the whole action.
It's on the skin of the banana, not the banana itself.
I know that, but just okay. Well, this is where we agree to disagree. I love it when you don't agree with me.
Yeah, you want them to bring sex toys to a middle school or high school.
Not necessarily a sex toy. Something, an object, just something that looked a bit fatter than this. An object. Okay. Why has it got to be a banana? Who is the person that said, yo, when you do that sex education, take a banana with you? Whose idea was it to take a banana?
I don't know. But I guess the banana is probably the closest and friendliest when it comes to talking about penises with young women and men.
I disagree. People, let us know what you think in the comments, man. Should they use something other than a banana in school?
Your hand gesture is too much.
Well, that's what it's used for. Oh my gosh, this is supposed to be Serious Sunday. You invited him.
All right, people. She says there should be other instruments used for sex education other than fruit.
Correct.
Correct?
Rich is like, bring that banana in. Afterwards, I'm going to peel back the skin and eat it because it's only on the skin, not the fruit. Less to recycle. And I'm like, nah. So let us know what you think. Should we have something
Please
else?
do. Please do. Please do.
I'm
Please.
sorry
I'm
that
sorry
this.
I got the giggles.
I'm sorry that this serious Sunday turned out to be not so serious. Clearly, Rich is less mature than he likes to make out because he finds sex education funny.
Well, I just like the hand gestures was funny.
Why not?
But teen pregnancy, back to teen pregnancy.
It's way worse in the States. So what this show is about across the pond, we've learned that on your side of the pond, teen pregnancy is way worse. Way worse. 17 in every 1,000 here. 57 to every 1,000 there.
Ooh, we like
lock up your daughters and your sons in the US, folks, because they could potentially be getting down and dirty too young.
Yeah, and they do have, I'm gonna kid you not, my sons was teenagers and they was going to high school. And I'm gonna tell you, some of these girls nowadays are way faster than the boys.
Do you think, oh, sure.
That's a whole nother show.
Do you think
that's a whole nother show?
Do you think peer pressure plays a part in it before we go?
Yeah, I could say for the most part, peer pressure could be part of it. I wouldn't say all of it, but
no, but if you've got a group of lads and they're like, how many chicks have you? And you're like, oh, I'm the only one who hasn't. Then they're like, ha, 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 you're a virgin, you're frigid, blah, 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 you know. Then you feel pressured into doing it just to keep up with the lads.
I guess, is that the same way for females?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That must play a part in it.
Yeah, it must play. I don't know. I remember when I was coming up, you know, girls weren't as aggressive, aggressive as these young ladies are now. My sons used to tell me stories. I'm not going to repeat them, but there's a lot of these girls out here nowadays that are a whole lot faster and more aggressive than the guys.
All I know is, from a girl's point of view, when you were at school, if you hadn't had sex by a certain time, you were frigid. And if you had had sex, you were a slag. So there was literally no winning. In
between, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you either a hoe or you just a virgin. Mm-hmm. There ain't no in between.
Sad, really. Sad.
Yeah, that is. Because there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin.
Right.
Nothing wrong at it at all.
And you know what? Now, that could be another topic there. You know, it's no sex before marriage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down because that's so rare these days. This pad is getting taken over.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, well, thanks for pulling it back to a bit more serious.
Why? Thank you. I try my best.
All right. That serious Sunday wrapped up. That serious Sunday wrapped up like a willy with a condom on.
Yeah, like a condom with a banana. That being said, this is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are from across the
pond. Rich, I'm going to see you Wednesday for our Fan Dabby Dozy meetup. We're going to see these guys on
Friday.
Yepper. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, all that good jazz.
Yeah.
Hey, now holla at me if you ready to go. Hey, across the pond with Rich and Soph. Alright, now holla at me if you ready to go. Hey, across the pond with Rich and Soph. Alright, now holla at me if you ready to go. Hey, across the pond with Rich and Soph.